Hi Blanka,
Hi.
welcome to the TCS World 10K Bengaluru.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And how's the experience been so far?
It's been amazing. I mean, the people are so friendly and welcoming, and they make sure I lack nothing and that I feel comfortable. So I'm really enjoying the pre-event stuff, and of course, hopefully on Sunday I will have this new experience of being an opening of the big race.
Yeah. Just reading, your father Josko, he won the Mediterranean Games gold
Yeah.
in 1983, few months before you were born.
Yeah.
And is that the reason your name came in? Just
Yeah,
tell us about.
fun fact. It was a debate in my house, and my grandma, because he won a gold medal in Casablanca, and my grandma said that I should be called Casablanca. And then my mom said, no, we should probably lose the Casa part and just keep the Blanca. So that's how it happened.
Fabulous. So, what I wanted to understand is, was that naming after such a great achievement within the family a pressure thing, or did you see that as a gift?
No, I never thought about it as a pressure. It was just a sweet momentum that my father kept from his competitor days. So days as a competitor. So no, it's just a fun fact for me. So I grew up in a sport family. So everything we did was all around. Everything we did was about sports. So in a way, I also already was a competitor when I was even a child. So in a way you grow up with it, and when the real thing comes, it feels so natural.
And then at the age of 14, Boyan came into the picture. And then
Yeah.
you had a system where your father and Boyan have worked with you together. How did that dynamic kind of play out?
Yeah. So before I started high jump, I did plenty of other sports, and also, I did some other events in track and field. And then, I was tall, I was skinny, I had long legs, and I was also very coordinated for my height. So my dad said that maybe we should try to see how am I doing in high jumping. And then he brought Boyan, who was at the time still active high jumper, and he just wanted an advice. So, but Boyan from the first jump, he saw a potential in me. He saw that I'm picking up technique pretty fast, and from that point on, we knew that that was my place. And we stayed together until the end of my career, which is very rare actually to have the same team for 20 years, because dynamics within a team, it's always changing, and we found our way to understand each other, adapt towards each other's characters, and make it work. So we are, all three of us functioned always as a team, and Boyan was with me mostly in competitions as a technical coach to help me with the technique. But we were always together at practice every day, 2 times per day, and I can honestly say that there was never a time where there were cracks in our relationship. It just kept growing.
Yeah, like you've spoken about being diagnosed with hyperthyroidism in the past, as early as 2004.
Yeah.
And, you don't see that much people talking about endocrine health and stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you see, do you think an invisible illness is something that kind of oversees and has taught you something more than what typically the athletes talk about in terms of visible illnesses?
Yeah. Well, when you don't see the illness, it seems like it doesn't exist, because you can talk about it from your own experience. And thyroid problems are really sneaky. And before I came out and started to talk about it, not many people from media or ever mentioned it. It wasn't something that you publicly talk about. But once I started to talk about it, so many women came out, also, try to reach me and say, yeah, I'm dealing with the same thing. It was very, every day was different. It is very sneaky disease, because it really messes up with your whole body. one moment you feel tired, the next morning you feel moment you feel energized. You know, I would come to the training and I didn't know if I would be able to complete it until the end. Weight gain, weight loss. There was no stability. I couldn't make 7 days in a row of practice without breaking down. So that's when we tried with the medicine, we tried to control it, but at that time, I mean, with my rhythm, with my trainings and competitions, we just saw that we cannot control it. It was really, really hard to live with it. Eventually, it was taken out, and after that, it was in a way a start of the second part of my career where I really made a great comeback and reached my full potential. But yeah, I mean, it's very important to talk about these kind of stuff. Illnesses that you said are invisible, and just just bring the awareness about stuff that you don't see but are actually there and affect our lives.
And did you make a comeback? You really made a big comeback after that.
Yeah.
In Zagreb, you did what, 2.08?
Yeah.
And right after that, I mean, that was like a centimeter away from the world mark. So just curious to know, did that kind of seem to haunt you at any point of time? Or did you make peace with it by the time you decided?
So the story about Zagreb, it is a meeting in my home country. Zagreb is a capital city, and it was my favorite competition in a whole year. And up to that, then I had my personal best 207. And before I was just putting, okay, I'm not gonna jump 208, I'm just gonna try on 210. And I was trying a couple of times without success. And then Zagreb came, I felt great. And I said, well, maybe today I should put a bar on 208. And I jumped every height from first attempt. And that jump 208 was probably the jump that was worth of 210. And so many people afterwards, even today, ask me, why didn't you put 210 in Zagreb? Because I had a jump 205 and then I put on 208. And I was like, because I thought I had time. In that moment, I felt like, you know, I'm in top shape. I will try now 208, because mentally, when you're chasing a world record, it's different. So maybe at that time, 208 was feeling like a little less intimidating than 210. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can go centimeter by centimeter up to then. I will get it next year. I will get it the next competition. But then, you know, it was a valuable lesson to seize the moment to the fullest, because that next moment never actually came, because at the end of next year already I started to feel a problem with my Achilles, and then injury season came and I was never quite in that kind of shape. So sometimes, yeah, it's like a sweet regret in a way, but not really at the end of the day, because deep inside, and this gives me satisfaction, is that I knew that in one point of my career, in one moment of my career, I had a world record in my legs. I was able to jump it, you know, so it's enough for me.
Like you mentioned, the Achilles surgery that you had, and you mentioned that you've gone through all the stages of grief. Actually, when before retirement finally arrived for you, you refused to say that it was a decision, but it kind of arrived.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the psychology behind that.
Yeah. So after Rio. Rio was my final competition, but up to there it was already like 2 or 3 years of real struggle with injuries, everyday pain, training under pain, adaptation of training process, a lot of doctors, a lot of physical therapies, and it started to look more like a constant rehab session than actually sports that I fell in love with. And in Rio, I was jumping really with one healthy leg. And after I won bronze, I said to Boan, listen, just don't make me jump again under these circumstances. It's just a torture for me. So I gave myself a couple of years to try to come back. I was really stubborn, you know, to come back. It's not easy to let go life that you know for most of your life. And then the COVID came, everything went quiet. And in that period of time, I've realized that I asked myself, am I struggling to come back because I really want to jump again? Or am I struggling because it's hard to let go? And once I recognized that fear inside me, I realized that it controls me. It controls my decisions. And then I said, okay, I need to come to that point where I'm able to make a decision freely without fear controlling me. So what I said to myself is said, okay, there are two options. You can continue to try to come back or you can stop, but you need to be okay with both outcomes. So I started day after day imagining and thinking about retirement, how my life would look like, prepare myself in a way. And it was a long process. There were days where I just didn't feel like coming out of the bed because I felt like I'm letting go a huge part of my identity. Yeah. But time is a miracle because, you know, at one point, sometimes you think things are impossible, but you just give it time, you stay in the moment, you deal with it step by step, and then it really becomes easier. So I started to think about my post-career life in a way that I started to imagine things that what I'm going to gain instead of what I'm going to lose. You know, we are all focused what we are losing instead of what are the good things that could come out of it. What I'm not going to miss, because the life of a pro athlete is pretty demanding. So I started to focus on nice things that I'm finally going to be able to enjoy, and that gave me a little bit of positivity about it. But it was all happening just inside me, and I didn't talk to anybody about it until I was, let's say, 50% okay with that decision. And then I started to talk about it openly with my family, with my friends, and so I said, listen, this is maybe an option for me soon, but I didn't force it. So in a way, one day I went to church, and I was just, you know, I didn't think about decision, but it was a very emotional experience for me that day. And I remember in the middle of the mass, it just came to me, and I said, it's over. And I came out of the church feeling like very light and happy. That decision came to me naturally. Many people told me just retire after Rio, but I knew if I would take those decisions, it wouldn't be mine. Yeah. So I just waited for it to be mine, and that the result of that was just that I never looked back. You know, I was in peace with my decision. It was mine. It came in the right time, and I never regret it.
So, like you said, the Rio bronze, which you ran on one healthy leg,
yeah,
was. Does that mean? I know no athlete likes to pick the favorite things, but did that mean something a little extra because of the circumstances and what you went through?
Yeah, sure. I mean, sure, definitely. I mean, all my medals are won in different circumstances. So it's very hard to pick, oh, this is my favorite, this means a little bit extra. There were always struggles behind every medal. So before my injuries, I was very, I was perfectionist. Before every competition, I wanted all my boxes to be checked, you know.
All or nothing.
So it needs to be perfect in order for me to be able to feel relaxed, approach competition, you know. But then injury happened, and so many things had to be rearranged, and I had to do so many adaptations that it completely threw me out of my comfort zone. And I had to learn the hard way how to function even in chaos. So in Rio, there were no boxes checked. I was injured. I had to shorten my approach from 10 steps to 6 steps because my Achilles was so painful that I wanted to run as short as possible prior to the bar. And I didn't even practice it in training. What I did is actually I just visualized it at home, how my new approach should look like. So there I am in Rio, for the first time jumping with my new approach. I have a tremendous pain in my Achilles and I feel like a complete outsider. And then I forced myself to make the best out of imperfect moment. And that lesson for me was not just lesson about sport, it was lesson about life. Because we always wait, I will do this when the time is right, when conditions are perfect. Well, news, I mean, life is always chaos. It's never gonna be perfect. Maybe in just 1 second, and then second goes away very fast. So what I've learned is that I can be productive and I can be good at what I do, even if the things are not perfect as I imagined, you know. So it was a great lesson, definitely, that I use every day today in my post-career life.
And I think you briefly touched upon another aspect, sitting in the church on a Sunday mass, I
Yeah.
think. Was it true that you really found some kind of solace or identity in your faith at some
Yeah.
point, and you actually felt like you were a child of God before you were a high
Yeah.
jumper, and that
Yeah.
kind of helped you to?
I think athletes really struggle with their identity in ways that, at least it was like that with me. I became to think that who I am is an athlete who wins medals. If I don't win medal, who am I? You know, because when you win medals, you have approval of the people, and in a way that was your source of love and source of affection and source of acceptance. But that's not really a healthy way to look at things. But in a way, it sneaks up to you, you know, and you, only when I became injured and a thought crossed my mind that I might never ever jump again. And then I felt, oh my God, the source of love that I think is the most worthy for me, what if that goes away? Who am I? You know, you start asking questions only when the ground under you is shaken. But when, I think, when you start asking a question, that's really the first step towards realizing that there is someone and something greater than you, and that you are not only what you do, but you are so much more than that. You are loved just because you exist. And the notion, the awareness that I already have all the love that I need, no matter what I do in life, really gave me this inner peace to keep trying. That actually happened 2013, and it really helped me deal with all the struggles regarding injuries after that time, because I was able to win a world medal in Beijing 2015 and a bronze medal in Olympic Games. It took away a little bit of my pressure. It changed my focus, and yeah, I mean, I try to keep my relationship with God alive every day. It's a living relationship, and whenever my mind shifts and I try to worry about things that I cannot control, or things that are not initially so important, it's much easier to go back to the center and, you know, find that peace again.
I mean, what you're saying is very beautiful, and you're making it sound very simple. But I don't think that process was that simple.
It's not simple, because I always say that God enters only through cracks. Because if you don't allow him, if you don't have a cracks, it's like he cannot enter. It's like a light through a cracked hole in a wall. So I had to be really humbled, because once I was injured, I couldn't even walk. I was really humbled and ready to receive and to hear what he has to say to me. So the process is actually really painful, but I think that's the way we learn the most. You always hear the stories about hardships. I mean, my hardship is nothing towards the hardships that other people go through. You know, diseases, deaths in the family, war. I mean, there's so many hardships that a person endures, and you have so many testimonies that actually those hardships make them stronger, make them more resilient, made them a believer, made them a better person, you know. So in a way, I think that's the best way we can learn about real things in life, don't you think? Because when everything goes well, you think you need nothing. You know, you don't question yourself. But once you start questioning yourself, then you are able to see the things you're doing wrong, where improvements can be implemented, and so on.
Did you do that yourself, or you had a team or someone who really helped you see through that?
No, I mean, this personal experience towards the fate was just happening just between me and him, I guess. And I don't know, it is a very mysterious process. One day I just took out my Bible and started to read and started to question, you know, is there something more for me? And is this sport everything that I am? And, you know, I started to ask questions, and for God, it's enough. It's enough for you just to ask a little question, and then the process starts. Eventually, it led to a really huge revelation that happened almost overnight. But the process before that was pretty long and painful, full of questions. And then when it happened, it felt like I came back home. Like I remembered something that was already inside me from the moment I started to exist, but I just forgot it. You know, life made me forget it. So my mission now is to try not to forget it until I'm alive.
Fantastic. So I just want to move to a couple of technical questions about what you did. Like high jump is about that one explosive vertical instinct, right? And whereas the 10-kilometer run, which you're here as the brand ambassador, is actually a horizontal endurance at about 30 minutes odd or more for most people. But I think time and again, you actually shown an affinity to running, and you said you.
Oh, I love running.
You love running. You started doing that now, and you're very. So, as someone whose entire career has actually depended on that one significant leap, you know, what do you see in distance running as an experience that you think, you know, you possibly missed during your days of high jump?
Well, I mean, when I was a high jumper, it was the only thing I could think about. So I didn't think in a way that you're suggesting, but also high jump in a way is also endurance, because people don't think about it that much, but from the moment you enter the field until your last jump, it can be hours. So in a way, it's also a mind game that you need to play. And you cannot jump your best jump whenever you want. You need to wait until the end of the competition, where the things get really exciting and the bar is at a highest height. So you really need to learn how to pace yourself as well, how to save your energy. You need to be strategic about your competition. That's actually what runners are doing. So overall, when you lose the details, there's not much difference in a way when we are talking about mental preparation. The running for me is definitely different than high jumping. I need to be honest why I started to run, because if I would try to stay active doing exercises that I did for most of my life, probably my Achilles would flame up again, and my body is just not fit enough anymore to do any kind of jumps, any kind of plyometric works. And so I started to search for something that I can do is sustainable for me, I can do every day. And the first portion of my running experience was before I gave birth. And even that was too painful for my body. So I had to stop. But 2 years postpartum, one day I just realized that I don't have any pain anymore. I guess my body fixed itself, I guess. Something to do with the hormones. People say that happens after the pregnancy. And then I said, oh, great, maybe I can start to run again. And then what I've noticed is that feeling of post-running, the feeling that you've been somewhere. You know, you went for a run, but you've been somewhere else in your mind, because there's so many thoughts, so many things that happen in your mind because you're doing a repetitive
Activity.
activity, and it's in a way it is hard. It is hard, especially when you go do intervals. But it's hard, but it's also in a way very soothing, and you're forcing your body, but your mind stays calm, and that's actually the contrast that I really much enjoy. And then, of course, me being me, because the athlete inside of me is always gonna live.
Competitive.
Yeah, and then I started to see some goals, not just, okay, today I'm gonna run 8K, tomorrow I'm gonna run 10Ks. I'm up to 12Ks for now, but then I saw, oh, maybe I could run half marathon. And then for a high jumper to run a half marathon or even consider to run a marathon, it's something like that happens very rarely.
Yeah.
And I love the goals that seem impossible, but are maybe reachable. So, so that's really something that I'm enjoying now. I'm not like pro runner. I'm just, I take 1 hour out of my time every day to do some runnings. Not even every day, but I live close to the beach. It's easy. Just put on your shoes and go run. It's very easy activity. It's accessible to everyone, and I find really I enjoy it. I really enjoy it, and therefore it was really for me special that I became ambassador just in this time when my focus and my interest is really on running in community, and I'm learning so much, and I'm just so excited to be at the start of the race and maybe participate next year. I don't know.
That'll be something, and you heard it here first. And so you are the brand ambassador, you're the international event ambassador for the TCS World 10K Bengaluru. And it started off with just very few runners few years back, and at the 18th edition we are having about 35,000 people. The numbers sold out in 6 days. We couldn't take any more applications. So that's grown into a movement, which brought me to a very interesting fact that you've done an event in your hometown, Split, and you had about 12,000 people showing up for that event. And how did that experience kind of teach you, while it can be a novelty to begin with, what does it take to sustain a thing like that?
Well, from my experience, being a good athlete means so much more than having a good result. So what I always try to do while jumping, I try to tell a story, because people pay money to come to see you, and they want to see more than just a result. They want to see how you feel. They want to grasp, your experience, what led you to this moment, what this means to you, how do you handle pressure, how do you handle failure. That's why I was always so open with my emotions. You remember the dance. Then I didn't even hide when I was disappointed. You could all see it. You could see it on my face. And you tell a story, and people are dragged into your story. So they become more than just a spectator. They become participants in your story. And that's what happened in my hometown and also in my country, that when I would jump somewhere, there was nobody on the streets. Everybody were watching in front of TV, cheering, and just, living it with me. And I felt it. It was for me very important that I feel that people are behind me, they're jumping with me, and that it means a lot to them. And once we had opportunity to have a high jumping event in my hometown, it was an indoor meeting, and the indoor was really full, and the energy and the cheering, I was jumping with a goosebumps. And also we had the Continental Cup in the football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Football stadium was full for the first time for other sports besides football. And I was just jumping with goosebumps, So I think the most important for an event to grow is that people feel connected with it.
The emotion.
Yeah, the emotion is the most important thing. Emotion is actually why people are watching sport, don't you think?
Absolutely, yeah. And while you were speaking about that, traditional athletics and most sports are a stadium format to begin with, spectatorial. But when it moves on to the streets, like the race
Yeah.
you're going to be witnessing and all the distance running events across the world,
Yeah.
do you think these community driven events are kind of giving a very different perspective to the traditional formats that we've been exposed to when it comes to sports?
Yeah, because maybe when people are watching it in arenas, it feels like, oh, they're there and we are here. But when people go run on the streets, it feels so close. And they show to other people, oh, it's easy. You just put on your shoes and start running. You don't need a special equipment. You don't need a special venue. You need nothing to be a part of it. And because in race, sure, you have a pro racers, but everybody can enter.
Yeah. So
And
99.99% of people are regular everyday people.
Yeah, it's very inclusive, and people like to be a part of it. They like to be included, and they like to see that something is even available for them. Even if they're not top athletes, they can have the experience. So I think that's
Absolutely.
the difference.
So almost every athlete, and I'm sure yours wasn't different, it's always a constant fight or a tension between technique and talent. And I think your coach, Boyan, is famously told you to stick to the technique before you actually up the bar and take those risks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. When it comes to running, many fun lover runners and stuff actually just start going for pace and just trying to push themselves more than what their body can. Is there a piece of advice or something that you would like to share with those guys?
Yeah, I was always so reliant on my technique, because I knew that even on my bad days, my technique can, with my technique, I can jump a great height. And the thing about technique is that you need to practice it. Because on the day of the event, competition, you have no time to think about technique, about details. It already needs to be in your system, like automatic muscle memory. So the only thing I was thinking about, okay, my rhythm towards the bar, am I keeping my shoulders straight, my hips high, and that's it. No, there's no time for overthinking once you're at competition. So for me, I think, advice is to just, you master as much as possible in technical way what you do, and then it will be, your mind will be free to enjoy the moment. Even if it's a huge pressure, your body already knows what to do. So in practice is actually the time when the result is built.
In the new phase of your life, you moved to different newer avenues and stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing you've been very excited about is your business and stuff. Can you just tell us something about it, because we don't know?
Yeah, so I have 2 digital platforms. One is for one is like a hub for all people who are involved in sport industry, pro athletes, former athletes, managers, doctors, physios, coaches. We created that space as I saw after my career that I saw the need for that kind of space when people can find, in a way, like opportunities, even post-career or during career, find advice, find some solutions for their problems. It's like LinkedIn for sport industry. And the other one is called MVPs. It's just about youth sports, about kids, because our philosophy is that every child should have an experience of doing some kind of sport during their childhood for many reasons. You don't have to be top talent, but everybody can find a sport that suits them. And once you find that, you will most likely you will stay motivated to at least compete with yourself from the past, to see the progress, to enjoy the environment, and to learn so much that sport can teach you about discipline, resilience, about team spirits, about long-term goals. And once you have those tools, you can always use it in your life. And also, it's when you have a habit of being physically active as a kid, it's most likely that you stay active in your adult life. And we all know what it means for physical and mental health. But MVPs is so much more than just, a platform that guides kids through the process of finding their own sport. It's a really platform that can use it can be used by government bodies to track whereabouts of kids in non-official events, so they can make sports strategy about sports on in a more detailed ways. It's for sports organizations as well, for the clubs. So we are very proud of the agenda that we are having, because I think there is nothing more noble than actually trying to teach the kids how to be, the best versions of themselves while they're still young, to make things easier for them, And the easiest way to learn about life is actually through sport, because sport at the beginning is just a game, but it has some kind of rules, but you follow them without a pressure, because you're just a kid, you're playing,
Fabulous. So is this, both these businesses, are they restricted to a geographical area or across boundaries?
No, we are taking MVPs globally, and we're trying to make contacts with other countries so they can implement it in their system. So
So are you
that's our
working
goal.
with governments, businesses?
Yeah, we're trying to do that. Yeah, Ministry of
Fabulous.
Sports and Olympic committees.
All
That's
the
our
best.
goal.
I think it sounds like a
Thank
great
you.
initiative. And your signature celebration dance after you do a jump.
Yeah.
I mean, was it ever choreographed or is it just?
Never. Otherwise, it would look much better. It was something everybody asks me how it started, and I just cannot remember. I remember one time it was Rome Diamond League, and I won, and I had a great jump, and I just did a couple of moves, and it was noticed by my friend. He said, "What was that? What was?" I said, "I don't know," and then I just didn't control it, and it started to be a thing. I think in Osaka when I jumped 205, and I felt it was my winning jump, or I don't know which one. And then it was really noticeable. I was really dancing, and it was something that people noticed, and something that made everybody
That's your signature.
It was very interesting for people to see, how I'm celebrating, and that it's just not like, hand in the air and that's it. But I was really trying to express how I feel. It came naturally. People liked it, so I didn't
Engineer it.
No, and also I never controlled it. So and I said, people always would ask me prior competition, will you dance? I said, if I feel like it. I mean, I will never, plan it, and it just came out. It would always come out in a good moment for me, when I would feel, oh, that was a good jump, or that was something that made a difference in a competition. This made me feel great, so I would dance.
Okay. And your brother is Nicola, is a
Yeah.
professional footballer. And how has it been growing up with him? Because I'm sure he was competitive as well. So how did that dynamic work out?
Yeah,
on the
well,
table?
you need to know that we are. There's a huge difference between us. He's the youngest. I'm the oldest. I have 3 brothers, and I'm born '83, and he's born '97. And so he was always my little brother. And I remember him coming to practices with my dad after my practice, and I remember the excitement of my dad about his potential, because it was the same excitement that my dad had with me. And in our families, when they were always supportive towards my path, towards my goals, as well as Nicola. So we were always around Nicola, supporting
Almost
him.
protective.
And yeah, and I think it's very important for the family to stand by the goals of each other, because in a way you feel protected. And coming from a sport family, they understand the dynamics of sport and what it takes to make to go to a pro level. So in a way, my family also did a lot of sacrifices for me, and that's what we also did for Nicola. We are first of all, I'm very proud of the man he turned out to be. That's the most important for me as a sister. And I'm enjoying to watch him play, especially for the national team. It's very stressful for me, but I'm really enjoying seeing him on a big field, doing what he likes, enjoying his life, having a great family, and just being happy. And for me, that was the most important thing. So, but there was never competitiveness against us. As I said, it's a huge age gap, so we didn't get to that.
Fabulous. That's all. Thank you,
Okay.
Blanka. Good to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Bye-bye.
for
See ya.